Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, I was looking through my orders when I've been in the military before, and I joined while I was still in high school, and I didn't realize that I was actually in the Air Force Reserves before. And what makes the difference is later on they considered people Vietnam era veterans. You didn't have to have served in Vietnam. You just had to, I think, been active duty during a time period where the cutoff was before I went in. I think it was like April. I officially enlisted in July into the regular Air Force from that. But this is one of the ways we receive our orders, and the blue stuff right here is because our service number was our Social Security number, and I had a VA rep tell me that was impossible because the enemy could figure out all kinds of things, and hack your bank account and all this other stuff. And I said, no, that's the way it was. As a matter of fact, if you were going with a bunch of different people and you had the same orders, they would put their Social Security numbers down there too. Yeah, this is before the Social Security Protection or whatever Act, but this is the way we would receive our orders most of the time. It would be a printout. And you have to know acronyms when you get in the military because they love that stuff. Notification of PCS, permanent change of station. Reassignment to SRA Mansell William M., senior airman. Before it was, you were, oh man, what was it? You went from 1 stripe, 2 stripe, 3 stripe. 3 stripe was sergeant. The first one was airman and basic, and then an airman. And then it would be like a corporal in the Army. I don't remember what it was. A1C? I don't know. A2C? Anyways, they decided it was too much of a shock to make, because when you're a sergeant, the way the military works is the sergeants are the ones that actually run the stuff. They're the ones that actually get the stuff done. The officers are there for show and, to give orders and everything. The people that actually get stuff done are the enlisted people, especially the sergeants. That's in the American military. In the Russian military and stuff, they take orders from their officers. Even if it's stupid, they'll do it, Here, they know that, and that's one of the strengths of the military, I think, anyway. American military is sergeants. This is letters to officially advise you of your selection for permanent change of station to Korea. 8th Component Repair Squadron reporting no later than 78 January 15 on assignment action number blah 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 blah. Factors used in selection are portrayed in the right side of this form. If any of the data is in error, contact CBPO assignment unit immediately. You may be released from this assignment for any of the following reasons: approved mandatory deferment, approved hardship discharge, conscientious objector status, approved under AFR 3524. Submit request for retirement in lieu of PCS. This option, if applicable, must be made within 7 days of this letter. Decline to obtain the required service retainability. Granted sole surviving son-daughter deferment. I could have gotten that one if I wanted it. Granted hostile fire deferment to preclude 2 family members serving in a hostile fire area at the same time. Korea was considered like a hostile fire area, but it was never really officially recognized as a war for us. Approved change of CONUS due to interracial marriage. We have reviewed your records, and they do not reflect that the selection was based on invalid data. Therefore, there is no reason for us to request that you be released from this assignment. Listed above, you have been scheduled for an appointment. with Tech Sergeant Mercer to begin out processing. At that time, this assignment will be discussed further. You are to acknowledge receipt below and forward this correspondence to your commander. You are on flying status, and this assignment is not to a flying. You are not on a flying status, and the assignment is not to a flying position. Whee! I don't have to fly. And then, it's got the other ones. The following data contained in your assignment. Specialty, blah, blah, blah. Male. Hey, I was classified as a male. See, there it's official. Security access. There's a lot of other crap in here. The data before perfected or was been used to ensure that you're eligible for this assignment. Data of separation. DDLS. Hey, I didn't know I had LDS on LSD. DOB. Date of birth. Yeah, you have to interpret a lot of stuff. It's all in code. First assignment. No deferment. No, get out of here. Primary Air Force Specialty Code 32853. What is this? B-52. Nuclear weapon duty. Secret. And I say, sometimes you'll get assignments where it'll have instructions like, let me find it. Pause this. Assignment is to remote area. Your squadron commander will orient you on the code of contact before you depart this station. You must possess DD Form 2AF identification card dated July 74. Air Force Regulation 30-20 and identification tags. AFR 30-21 secret clearance is required. You must be physically qualified in accordance with AFM 160-1. Shipment of unaccompanied baggage is authorized, but your dependents are not authorized to accompany nor join you in the shipment of a POV, private owned vehicle, to this area is not authorized. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I was just looking through that and I went, wow, I forgot that I was officially, see, the thing is, even if I was eligible for Vietnam era veteran status, it gave you like preferential, like you get 1 point extra on a form if you're going into the post office or a government, job or something like that. It didn't give you a whole lot, but it enabled you access to benefits that you wouldn't get if you enlisted after that time. And when I joined, I wanted to go. I was going to volunteer to go to Korea. I mean, not Korea, but Vietnam. But the war, ended before I got in there. But sometimes it would list what they based the selection on, and it had what we call a dream sheet in there. Let me find that. Yeah, here it is down here. Like I said, it's hard to read because a lot of this it comes out on this big printout, and you have to know the code and everything. But this is Sergeant Mansell, 2nd Avionics Maintenance Squadron, Barksdale Air Force Base, Louisiana. You have been selected for permanent change of station to 81st Component Repair Squadron, Bentwaters, RFA, UK, United Kingdom. Report no later than 10 June 1980 on assignment action number blah, blah, blah. This action was accomplished by AFMPC on 11 March 1980. Additional factors pertaining to this assignment are: your overseas tour of duty selection date is 8 Jan 79, and your short tour return date is 8 Jan 79. Number of short tours is 1. Type of security clearance required. Security access. Your special identification number. What is this? Specialty code. Blah, 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 blah. Use Turlane. Here it goes. Complete all this. Crap. All right, here. Your assignment preferences are overseas: Philippines, Hawaii, Taiwan, Panama Canal. Ooh, that would have been rough. There's a lot of mosquitoes down there. United Kingdom, Japan, Korea, none. I could have come up with an 8th. CONUS. So you got a choice. You could pick 8 that you'd like to get, 8 that you would be okay with, and then if you didn't have any preference, yeah, you could just say none. Throw me anywhere. And then when they go to make they need an opening, they look through and they look for volunteers first. And if you put down there, hey, Japan was number 7th on my list. You sure you didn't have any openings in the Philippines or Hawaii? I actually got to go to the Philippines from Korea on a TDY, temporary duty change. And, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I would have preferred being assigned to the Philippines than Korea, because Korea was damn cold. And, the Philippines is tropical. It's almost like Hawaii, man. It's great. And Hawaii would have been great, but you know how that is. All the generals and cushy people get there. And there. CONUS. California. Arizona. Nevada. New Mexico. Arizona. New Mexico. Washington. I don't know why I picked Washington. That's close to California. That would have been rough. But yeah, so they had a hard time getting people to go to Korea. And here's a sponsor incoming letter. I would like to join your sponsor, A1C Warren Van Houten, and welcome you to Kunsan Air Base, Korea, in the 8th Component Repair Squadron. Flight line and in-shop avionics structural repair support for the 8th Tactical Fighter Wing Aircraft. We have approximately 170 people assigned. Due to our relatively small size, we have a reputation of being friendly and a close-knit squadron. As a result, morale is quite high, or I beat it into them. As a big question for many married people is, should I take my family with me? Although you're officially permitted, bringing your family at your own expense is discouraged. Off-base quarters are very primitive. Transportation is difficult, and medical care is extremely limited. The choice is an individual one. However, I strongly recommend you delay your decision until you can see the situation here yourself. If you will call us when you arrive at the port of entry, Osan Air Base, or Kimpo International Airport, we will meet you when you arrive at Kunsan and take you to your quarters. Squadron phone numbers are, I look forward to welcoming you. Yeah, it didn't go that way. It didn't turn out that way, because I was supposed to be assigned to the Component Repair Squadron, which is indoors, and it's a lot easier. It's warm in there, and you don't have to do a lot of heavy lifting and going out on the aircraft. And instead, the people that met me when I got there were from the flight line, and nobody really liked to go to the flight line. Nobody wanted to do that, and so I got picked. They changed it. Whatever your orders were, they changed it around so that, who am I going to argue? I'm in a foreign country. I don't know what's going on. My orders say I should be going here. You tell me to go there. Or, hey, as long as everybody's happy, I'll do whatever. But yeah, it's a lot rougher working on aircraft out there in the cold Korean wintertime, where even solder won't flow without a heat unit. You have to have a heat unit to get solder to flow. And yeah, so we didn't mind that, because a lot of times they wouldn't give you a heat unit just to work on an aircraft. But you get your ass out there and freeze. But yeah, that's the way it went, and I enjoyed my time while I was in there. And like I said, yeah, when you got your orders, you usually sometimes got group orders also. And in the Air Force, everybody's Social Security number was there. Their date of birth, their Social Security number, their home address. I mean, if you want to do identity theft, it was like, here's your here's your recipe. But yeah, and the reason why I never took advantage of any of the things, because I didn't serve in Vietnam. I mean, my father did. Even like medical care and stuff like that. I have never gone to the VA for anything, even though I'm technically eligible, because when I served, it was the Cold War, B-52s, and nuclear war and all that. But because we didn't actually set a nuke off, it never was really declared a war, although people die in training all the time. And, you can fly into the side of a mountain without even, being at war. And you risk your life. I don't care. I'm not complaining. I'm glad that I didn't have to dodge bullets and IEDs and all that other stuff. But I was willing to. I was willing to do it, because I grew up with comics, war comics and stuff like that. Stories about World War II, because they had, World War II had just ended, so that generation had to make a lot of movies about it. And so you watch that, and it's all heroic, and your country needs you. And I grew up watching Vietnam War on TV, and my father went over there, and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. Later on, it kind of like came on me, but eventually I decided I was just gonna join, and I was gonna go wherever the war was. And fortunately for me, there was no war while I was in for 6 years. I thought, surely within 6 years, America can get into a war. You're crazy when you're young. You think war is action. You don't know what you're getting into. And I did get to travel a lot. I did get to see a lot of different places. And when you go to these places, it's on their dime. It didn't cost me a big tour. I mean, it cost me. I had to obey orders and all that stuff, and not get in trouble, which is really hard to do. But yeah, there you go. It's my little rant and ramble about military service, and very few people do that anymore. For their country. Volunteer. I mean, back then it was just when they switched from draft to volunteer army, or military, and they raised the pay a little bit more. But I think my first year was like $2,000 or something like that. I mean, you don't get rich in the military, but I learned so much. I learned so much about life and people from that, that it helped me the rest of my life. And it's just something you just don't get out of your system once you've been in the military. Then it's in your blood, whether you like it or not. It's part of your DNA. You're hardwired into it. But yeah, nowadays I don't know. I can't say I would. Would you do it all over again? Yeah, I would, even knowing everything that happened. Because overall, I think it was a very good time when you just get out of high school and everything, to learn what discipline's like, how to organize things. I mean, you had to keep your bunk. You couldn't tell it from the way I live now. I am so disorganized. Look, Habibi's had a tornado wipe out his thing, and I haven't straightened it out for him yet. Pepe's lost 2 of his feathers, and I'm not looking for him. So I mean, I'm not as organized, but it does help anyway. Anyways, I've rambled on too long, so thank you for watching, and have a nice day.